Hello! I'm Robert, your host, and my lovely co-host this evening is...
Jackie.
Jackie and I are going to review 2009's Dead Snow. What's it about?
So it's basically about zombies in Nazi Germany. Did I get that right?
No.
Oh.
They're in Norway, I think.
Oh.
But they are Nazis.
They're on a ski trip. I know that.
Well, the Nazis are not.
The medical students are.
Medical students go on a ski trip. Yes.
And they come in contact with the Nazis?
What kind of Nazis?
Zombie Nazis.
Yes, zombie Nazis. Left over from World War II. They're not like neo-Nazi zombies.
No, they're like...
World War II Nazis.
Oh, just those.
That's what I'm dressed like a Nazi colonel, sort of. I think I look like, there's a character, Colonel Herzog. He's the leader of the Nazi zombies. And I look like him.
Do you?
I would. Got the hat.
Yeah, you have the whole Nazi vibe going on.
Little tidbit of information, little trivia. It's while we were watching the movie, Colonel Herzog's Nazi insignia here on his hat, it's like tilted different ways every time they show him. It's like just a little goof. Well, I don't think they did it on purpose. I think it's a sort of continuity error. But anyway, do you recall what the inspiration for the Nazi zombies were?
So the inspiration for the Nazi zombies was actually World at War, Call of Duty.
World at War, the Call of Duty
game.
World at War game had Nazi zombies in it. I never played it myself.
Why not?
Well, I play with other things.
Oh, okay.
But that video game had Nazi zombies in it, and the director, his last name is Wirkola. He's probably Norwegian too. He was inspired by the video game, and he said, "I can make a movie out of that shit." And did you know that the zombies in the movie, not the game, but the zombies in the movie are loosely based on sort of contemporary zombies.
Okay.
Which you could tell that because the zombies in this movie, what happens, everybody knows this. What happens if you get bit by a zombie?
You turn into a zombie.
Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that, right? That's just the thing. And World War II zombies, I don't think they're any different. So it's a combination of those zombies and a Norse mythological creature called a drog.
And what is a drog?
A drog is like a zombie. They're like undead corpses that typically haunt like tombs and stuff, and they protect the tomb, and they protect what's buried there, and they protect most importantly, treasure. Treasure. And was there treasure in this film?
There was.
There was, you know.
Of course.
They're Nazis. And how did the Nazis, historically, not in the movie, it's the same, but historically, where did the Nazi soldiers get all their treasure from?
Other people. They stole it.
Dead Jews! They'd steal the Jewish people before they gassed them and did horrible things to them. They'd take their rings and their necklaces and their fillings and all kinds of stuff. And that's what's in the movie. That's the zombies are there to kind of protect the treasure that they have hidden away somewhere.
Sounds like an interesting trip.
Well, I mean, you know, it is a horror movie, so people die, right? I mean, it's not a good horror movie if nobody dies.
True.
So this movie, it's funny. It's a zombie movie, but you know, it's a campy zombie movie. they make references to other movies. Like there's this one character, Erland, and he's in the beginning, I think, of the movie. He's wearing, once they get to the cabin at least, he's wearing a Brain Dead T-shirt. Brain Dead is another sort of campy, sort of zombie campy movie that is very, very bloody, like way bloodier than this one. And so the director's choosing to pay homage to some of these other movies in his own script.
Like Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
And what do they use in Evil Dead? They use a chainsaw to cut off the infected limbs.
And they do that in this movie. I mean, I don't think that's a spoiler, right?
No. Just a little detail.
Tool shed. What about the tool shed?
What about it?
Well, they go into the tool shed. What do?
They arm themselves in the tool shed. Just like Evil Dead Army of Darkness.
That's right. I think that's where they get the chainsaw and stuff like that. You know? And that's also where I think it's the character Roy. You don't really see him grab it, I guess, in the tool shed. But when they're fighting against the zombies, he picks up. He has a hammer, like a sledgehammer, and a sickle, and he charges at the zombies like this with the hammer and sickle, which is, well, it's a symbol for communism, but more importantly, it's a symbol for this Soviet Russia, which is the Russians were fighting the Germans in World War II. So it's a nice little historical,
historical
thing.
touch.
Yeah. So you can learn a little history from this movie too.
Yeah, and watch people get murdered.
So there's a couple goofs.
There are, okay? The one that bothered me the most, Robert, was that the zombie was wearing a white snow jacket and it had a plastic part on it.
Yeah. There wasn't any plastic.
No.
Back in World War II. Not on the uniforms, no.
No, impossible.
I don't even know if the Nazis had like white snowsuits. But I noticed that. Not really. I read about it. But I noticed that in the movie, and I was thinking maybe that zombie, he could have killed somebody like last year, and then stole their snow jacket. Maybe. But that's not what bothered me. What bothered me, and this, believe me, this is a pet peeve of mine, especially when you're talking about zombies in particular, because the zombies have this grotesque makeup, and sure, they may have a hole in their skin or something, but in general they're kind of like greenish or very pale and pasty white. And I hate it when movies do they from here down, they forget that they need to put makeup on from here down.
The neck makeup.
Yeah, so there's a zombie, and I think it's a scene where he's like climbing a tree or something, and you see the zombie, and his hands and like his neck, they have no makeup on him, and it spoils it, takes you out, like it's just a dude.
You can't believe it then.
Just a dude in shitty makeup.
Basically.
I can see that any weekend. I don't need to watch a movie for that. This movie had an interesting beginning.
It was basically, the beginning was very action-packed, sort of like a James Bond movie, basically.
Yeah, like that whole scene with the chick running away from what turned out to be zombies, but you don't know it. It's like every James Bond movie begins with that kind of stuff. So, the director clearly likes working in other people's work into this. I found the cast, and I could name them, but I won't, because my American audience and my Indian audience,
wouldn't know that.
Well, I have like 4 guys in India that like to watch this. They wouldn't know them because they're all Norwegian. I found the cast, the females in the cast, every single one of them was very attractive, I thought. But the guys I did not think were so stunning.
Well, maybe Roy.
I mean, Roy wasn't bad.
I think Roy was pretty attractive.
I mean, I guess I would hit Roy. I don't know. So Roy, he does have the best lines. He says, at one point he says, I have a joke. It involves peep and poop and semen. Just like every pair of underwear I've ever owned.
TMI, Robert. TMI.
It's true.
Any chance of a rear entry?
I told you we should have gone to the beach. The Wanderer tells the kids, the medical students, believe me when I say this, these were evil sons of bitches.
Where the fuck did you get a machine gun from?
From the machine gun cabinet. Events have occurred here. Events that people prefer to keep quiet. Martin is trying to call 911. He says, hello, we've been attacked by zombies from World War II, and we set the cabin on fire.
And what did they say?
I think they hung up on him. So, keep in mind, it's not meant to be too scary. I mean, there's lots of death. It's the only movie I can think of that had death by snowmobile. Can you think of another one?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, there might have been like an Abominable Snowman movie that had a death by snowmobile, but I can't remember that. And the one thing I did think that was cool though, they had like the cabin must have been raised up off the ground. They had a cooler, like a trap door in the floor. You just open the trap door, and you reach in and pull out an ice cold beer.
That was your favorite part of the movie?
That was pretty cool. Or Nazi treasure.
In the cooler.
Yeah, pull out a beer, pull out some Nazi treasure. So unbelievably, you put like 7 or 8 hot Norwegians in a cabin in the woods. Unbelievably, there's no bosom alert in this movie. There's even a sex scene, for Christ's sake, and there's no bosoms that are shown.
Loses a pumpkin for you, huh?
That takes a pumpkin away from the rating, but it's like 38 minutes in, there's like a bra, like a brassiere. You see a lady, one of the stars is in her brassiere. I mean, that's good, but it's no bosom. But I'll tell you, there may be no bosoms. There may be no bosoms in this, but there's a shit ton of intestines. I mean, how many people get their intestines pulled out in this movie?
Quite a few.
I think
quite a few.
4, maybe?
That's enough for me.
That's probably like 1 or 2 too much for me.
Yeah, they could have done with 2.
I would have done away with an intestine pulling sequence and put in a bosom. So let's rate it. A high pumpkin rating, but not, I'm not going to give it 5. I'll give it 4.
4.
This movie
4 pumpkins.
could have been improved with just the insertion of a single bosom.
Next time.
There is a sequel. Maybe we'll watch that and review that sometime. If you enjoy the October Moviefest Countdown, you should be sure to check out allmediatv.com, where there's other Robert vehicles.